Not nice. Stop people pleasing, staying silent, and feeling guilty. And start speaking up, saying no, asking boldly, and unapologetically being yourself. Written by Aziz Gazipura. Introduction. The hidden cost of niceness.
Many people grow up believing that being nice is the key to success, happiness, and strong relationships. They are taught to be polite, avoid conflict, and prioritize others over themselves. While kindness is undoubtedly valuable, excessive niceness can become a prison, one that leads to self-doubt, frustration, and a life dictated by other people's expectations. At its core, the struggle with excessive niceness stems from fear. The fear of rejection, the fear of disappointing others, and the fear of conflict keep people trapped in patterns of people-pleasing. They say yes when they mean no, suppress their true thoughts to keep the peace, and put others' needs before their own, even at great personal cost. Over time, this behavior drains energy, erodes self-respect, and creates resentment. In this book summary, we will explore how excessive niceness develops, why it holds people back, and how to break free from its grip. By learning to set boundaries, handle conflict with confidence, and embrace authenticity, it is possible to reclaim personal power and build a life based on self-respect rather than fear.
The roots of niceness. Why we fear saying no.
Excessive niceness is often a learned behavior, reinforced from childhood. Many people are raised to believe that good behavior means being agreeable, avoiding conflict, and making others happy. Society further reinforces this idea, especially for those who are told that being likable is the key to being accepted. At the heart of this behavior lies fear. Some people fear rejection, believing that if they assert themselves, they will lose love and approval. Others fear confrontation, assuming that disagreements will lead to anger and damage relationships. Many also carry a deep sense of guilt, feeling selfish whenever they prioritize their own needs over those of others. These fears create an avoidance cycle. Instead of expressing their opinions or setting limits, overly nice people remain silent, hoping to maintain harmony. However, this often leads to frustration and emotional exhaustion.
The price of being too nice.
Although being nice may seem harmless, it carries significant costs. One of the biggest consequences is the loss of personal power. When people are too afraid to assert themselves, they become passive in their own lives, allowing others to dictate their choices and actions. Over time, this passivity leads to frustration and a sense of helplessness. Another major drawback of excessive niceness is burnout. Constantly accommodating others and suppressing personal desires drains energy. Over time, many overly nice individuals feel exhausted, resentful, and even depressed from constantly sacrificing their own well-being. Additionally, being too nice makes people vulnerable to being taken advantage of. Those who struggle to say no often find themselves burdened with extra responsibilities at work, taken for granted in relationships, or manipulated by those who sense their reluctance to push back. Instead of earning respect, excessive niceness often results in feeling overlooked and undervalued.
The shift from niceness to assertiveness.
Breaking free from the trap of niceness requires assertiveness, the ability to express thoughts, needs, and boundaries confidently. Many overly nice people assume that assertiveness means being aggressive or rude, but in reality, it is the balance between passivity and aggression. Assertiveness is about valuing one's own needs just as much as others' needs, rather than prioritizing one at the expense of the other. The first step in becoming more assertive is recognizing that self-respect is not selfishness. Many people believe that standing up for themselves will make them unlikable, but in reality, expressing one's needs and limits actually fosters healthier, more honest relationships. Building assertiveness starts with small actions. This might mean speaking up in a conversation, stating a preference instead of deferring to others, or declining a small request. With time and practice, these small moments help build the confidence to assert oneself in bigger situations without fear.
How to say no without guilt.
One of the hardest challenges for overly nice people is learning to say no. The automatic urge to agree, whether due to fear, guilt, or habit, can be difficult to overcome. But saying no is essential for maintaining balance and self-respect. A key strategy is keeping responses simple and direct. Many people feel the need to over-explain or justify their refusal, but a short and firm response, such as, "I can't commit to that right now," or "that doesn't work for me," is often enough. Practicing short, direct refusals helps remove the guilt associated with saying no. Another crucial shift is accepting that not everyone will like it, and that's okay. Some people may be disappointed when they encounter new boundaries, but their feelings are not a reason to abandon personal limits. Over time, those who truly respect and value the relationship will adjust, and those who only benefited from the lack of boundaries may drift away.
Handling conflict with confidence.
Many people avoid conflict because it feels uncomfortable, even terrifying. The thought of disagreement triggers anxiety, leading to avoidance at all costs. But avoiding conflict doesn't prevent problems, it only pushes them beneath the surface, where they grow into resentment. Learning to handle conflict effectively starts with changing how it is viewed. Instead of seeing conflict as a threat, it helps to view it as an opportunity for honest communication. Disagreements don't have to be battles. They can be discussions that lead to stronger relationships and better mutual understanding. One powerful approach to handling difficult conversations is using I statements rather than placing blame. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," one could say, "I feel unheard when this happens." This keeps the conversation focused on resolving the issue rather than turning it into an attack. Staying calm and composed rather than reacting with anger or avoidance also makes it easier to navigate disagreements productively.
Developing true confidence.
Breaking free from excessive niceness isn't just about saying no or setting boundaries, it's about building genuine self-confidence. Many overly nice people rely on external validation, measuring their self-worth by how well they please others. But real confidence comes from within, from knowing that one's opinions and needs are just as valid as anyone else's. One way to build confidence is by gradually facing fears rather than avoiding them. If someone is afraid of speaking up in a group, they can start by asserting themselves in smaller situations. Over time, exposure to discomfort weakens fear and strengthens self-trust. Another critical factor is self-compassion. Many people who struggle with niceness are overly self-critical, believing that any sign of assertiveness is a failure or a betrayal of their values. Learning to be kinder to oneself, acknowledging progress, accepting mistakes, and embracing personal growth helps create the internal strength needed to stop seeking approval and start living authentically.
Conclusion. Choosing self-respect over niceness.
The journey from excessive niceness to genuine confidence is not about becoming rude, uncaring, or selfish. It is about reclaiming authenticity and self-respect. People-pleasing forces individuals to mold themselves into what they think others want, often at the expense of their true selves. But living for external approval is exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling. True confidence comes from embracing one's real thoughts, needs, and boundaries without fear. It means choosing self-respect over constant accommodation and valuing personal well-being just as much as the happiness of others. By shifting from excessive niceness to assertive self-expression, it is possible to build deeper, more meaningful connections, not based on obligation, but on honesty, mutual respect, and true confidence.
Thanks for listening. Did you enjoy this book summary? Got ideas on how we can make it even better? Drop us a quick note. We're always listening and learning from you.